Yeah. So this is what we had written. So the first thing we have written is that Mataji spoke very nicely about how material desires are entangling, but it was not spoken about how it was entangling. Okay. So how the material desires are entangling, what is the material desire, and how is it a disease, right? Just that I desire something, that it comes in material desires. Nice, the diabetic example was nice example that was given, and petrol and fire example was good, but how what is the meaning of impurity, that was not explained. So people, audience may get confused. Oh, impure senses, what is meaning of impurity, what is meaning of a material desire becoming petrol and fire. So whenever we are speaking with audience, we should not we should speak less concepts, but we ensure that whatever we have spoken, they are understanding those concepts fully, fundamentally. Like if I am speaking while giving a class, if I am speaking about impure senses, so immediately we should ask ourselves, the audience will think, what is meaning of impure senses? If I speak about material desires are like fire, so then immediately the audience will ask question, why material desires are like fire? Fire burns, material desires burns what? So this is how we prepare for classes, that we speak anything, we should ourselves only ask what the audience can ask. Like I am giving an example that okay, material desires are entangling. What it is entangling? What is meaning of entanglement? If a new person comes and we say that material desires are entangling, material desires are fire, like fire. Okay, even if he's a new, not a new person, even if he's a devotee, right? Like if I just say that material desires are entangling, it is also important that we elaborate on how material desires are entangling. So the point is, whenever we are giving a class, we take one concept and we elaborate on the concept. We give examples on the concept, and we also share some our personal experiences on that concept, right? Okay, so if we are telling that the concept is material desires burn like fire. So this is an example, this is an analogy we are giving. We are comparing material desire with fire, right? And it burns us. So the question is, elaboration means, okay, so how we can elaborate, how do you understand, okay, how to elaborate? So while preparing for the classes, there are certain what you say, friends of a, oh, I wrote friend, what is the spelling? FRI, friends, I'm writing friends of teacher. So you all who all want to become a teacher, you should make friends like this. Okay, so first friend is Y, right? So if you prepare like this for a class, it will become very easy and the class will become very structured. Okay, so take a concept. Concept means a statement. And from the concept, you divide into three parts: elaboration, examples, and experiences. And then in the elaboration part, how to elaborate? What do we have to elaborate? So you take help of the friends. Why, how, when, for whom, Where? And what? Okay, material desires are like fire. What kind of material desires are like fire? Oh, not all material desires are like fire. Which there are certain material desires which are like basic needs, like food, clothing, shelter. They are not like fire. You're able to understand? So in just 6 statements, you can simply elaborate, and it takes only 5 minutes, right? Where is the resident of the material desires? Oh, the material desires lies in the mind and intelligence. Okay. So whom the material desires are? The material desires are the product of the conditioned soul. When we develop material desires, as the soul comes from the spiritual world to the material world to enjoy the material world, he develops these material desires to enjoy the material world. How he develops? Because he wants to create something, he wants to control something, he develops material desires. Why he develops? Because he wants to experience the feeling of controlling someone, becoming a god. So in this way, we need to understand that we take help of these friends and elaborate one concept, and then we give examples for each of the concept. And for some, we can give some personal experiences. In this way, let us say we have one concept, and let us say the class contains 3 concepts. So we structure the class in such a way that first write one concept, discuss about elaborating it through different friends. So we can take all the friends, or we can take some of the friends, whatever is required, and we take some examples based on the friends, and we use some of our personal experiences based on the elaboration, and then we move to the next concept. In this way, the class can become very easily structured, and people will also understand and able to remember the class because it is structured. Okay, so this is about what is missed. The petrol fire example was good, movies example was good, that we should have spiritual eagerness, and then the example of materialistic parents, how they provide everything to their children without asking, is very important and nice. And then there was diamond and broken glass, but then there also it was not explained that how material desires are like broken glass. Broken glass means it cuts our hand. So what it cuts? That was not explained. So if we take help of these friends, then we can easily we will not, the beauty of taking help of these friends are that we will not miss any point of elaboration. Like for example, you see here is how, and I have also written how. So if this statement is there that the material desires are entangling, so if a person is asking how here, then immediately the elaboration will also contain that point. So what I mean to say is that our classes can be structured by mentioning concepts, and every concepts can be structured in this way by elaborating it through the friends, giving some examples or analogies or whatever, and also sharing some experiences. Now coming to the class and the topic. Oh, what happened? This is now coming to the topic. The first thing we need to understand in this topic is that appreciate people coming to God for material desires. So whenever we are speaking anything, we should speak as per what Bhagavad Gita speaks. Bhagavad Gita speaks that those who come to God for material desires, They are Sukritino. So for this question which is asked, that if God is our Father, and what is the wrong in asking Him material desires, the first answer is that no, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. And the first 5 minutes or 3 minutes we should appreciate about how even God Himself appreciates in Bhagavad Gita that those who come to Him for fulfillment of material desires, artho artharthi jigyashu jnani cha bharatasrava chaturvidha bhajante mam. Chaturvidha, there are 4 types of people who become my devotees. Janaha Sukritino Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, they are called Sukritinaha. They are great souls. They are pious souls. So the first thing is that we must appreciate people coming for material desires, right? Recently, some of the brahmacharis were requesting and writing mails that Prabhu, in the evening, our temple is getting filled with love birds. All the boys and girls nicely decorated and coming to our temple from the Sapurji and everything. And we should do something. I said, what we should do? We should make lawns for them so that they can sit, and we should also make some avenue they can take prasadam and khichdi, and you all should not go there, right? So we need to understand that the temple is a facility for purification, and purification begins with persons, those who are impure, right? So those who are impure only, they will need to get purified. And Krishna has made this plan that they come to temple, and for the fulfillment of the desires or for some enjoyment of them, then they get purified. So first principle is that we must appreciate those who are coming to God. The second principle is that Father is beginning of spiritual life, but we just don't want to make God as our Father, but we want to go ahead making God as our lover. So then we explain that how Father is definitely good, right? That's what Bhagavad Gita says, right? But beyond a Father, we want God as our lover. Hey, what is this coming again and again? So now what is the difference? Immediately we give some example, the same example of a child. Child, when he is young, he keeps on asking Father that I want this, I want that, I want that. And Father is so happy to give the child. It's not that Father is not happy. But when the child grows up, then he wants to give to Father. So he gets some pocket money and he saves a bit of it, the pocket money, and then saving on the birthday of Father, he makes a beautiful cake and purchases some gift or a shirt for the Father. Father, I have purchased this shirt for you. Now, does the Father not know that it is his money only? But that gives so much pleasure to Father, because now the Son has evolved his relationship with him just as a father to a lover. So it's not that when a child becomes a lover, the father stops. अभी तो तुम खुद ही पॉकेट मनी लेके मेरे लिए शर्ट लेने लग गया, तुम खुद कमाने लग गया. I will not give you anything. No, the father knows that it is his money only. But that his money only is getting diverted, right? So So the father is, so the concept of father is receiver of love, and the concept of lover is giver of service. So from a receiver, we become a giver. And we should explain that there is more happiness. So the next concept is in giving. Right? And we can elaborate on some personal examples and all. By giving, actually, there is more happiness and all, just like an example I give. And the last thing we should explain to people in this concept is a very simple concept, that definitely there is happiness in receiving from God. So there is happiness here. So this is level 1. This is level 2, receiving, giving to God, right? But there is a level 3 happiness, right? Receiving without asking. Like imagine a husband and wife, and husband says in the morning, शाम में अगर पराठा और सब्जी रहेगा तो अच्छा रहेगा, right? And he goes away, and then the wife makes the paratha sabji, and आपने बोला था paratha sabji, and so it is, there is some happiness in receiving that service from the wife. And another day, the husband comes a little early, and the husband comes at 4 o'clock. Hey, you came 4 o'clock? Yeah, I came to give a surprise to you that today you don't have to cook, and my boss said that you can go home early. So I was thinking that if I go home early, and then we can go to restaurant, and you don't have to cook today, so you have a off. So in giving that service to the wife, there is some more better happiness than just receiving from the wife. And the third one is, imagine the husband in the morning was thinking that what life boring lag raha hai, and the food is also very bland and everything, kuch man kar raha hai chatpata hone ka, but somehow he forgets and goes to the office, and in the evening the wife somehow or other, knowing, makes some chaat and masala mudhi or and masala mudhi and everything, and serves. So how much the husband will be happy, because he is receiving it without asking, and understanding the desires and inner desires of the husband, the wife receives. So we need to understand that it's not that Krishna will not fulfill our material desires, but a spiritual life, it takes us from the beginning that receiving the love of Krishna by asking material desires, and then going ahead in trying to give to Krishna and deriving happiness in giving to Krishna. And after that, both Krishna and the devotees, they simply receive each other's love without even asking. A devotee develops such trust and faith. After that, the husband develops full trust and faith. अरे मेरी पत्नी को पूछना ही नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि because of the experiences अरे मेरे को मन किया तो वो बनाएगी बनाएगी। ना, पत्नी तो हृदय में नहीं है हस्बैंड के, केवल वैलेंटाइंस डे में रहती है, फिर निकल जाती है। बट भगवान हमारे सबके हृदय में बैठे हुए हैं, एंड विदाउट आस्किंग कृष्णा fulfills our desires, and that experience of Krishna fulfilling our desires without asking is a much higher level of happiness than just even giving service to Krishna, right? And for Krishna also it is much higher level. Without asking, Krishna asking us, we try to do something to give a surprise to Krishna, to love him, serve him, right? That is a more higher level of happiness. So in this way, in just 15 minutes, we structure the class in such a way that both new people and the devotees understand it and they can apply something in their life. So 3 things I said. The first thing is that there is nothing wrong in asking Krishna. Second thing is that spiritual life begins with asking with Krishna for material desires, but we need to also know that from receiver mode we go to a giver mode of service, right? We give. But then one may have question that, oh, if we go to giver mode, then if I don't receive, just like many people ask so many questions about, अरे हमको चाहिए भी, So then the third thing we should understand that there is definitely an happiness in giving to Krishna, but there is a higher level of happiness in receiving from Krishna without even asking. So it's not that the pure devotees don't receive from Krishna. The Sudama example, what was given, what was the highest happiness for Sudama and the highest happiness for Krishna was not of giving. So Sudama's example is this example, receiving without asking. Krishna, Sudama was not ready to give that chawal, right? You know, Sudama was putting that chawal and hiding it, and I'll not give. Krishna, without even giving, Krishna tried to snatch it and take it, right? Receiving without even asking, कि Sudama मिल सकता है क्या? नहीं, I want to take it. It is my property, right? Sudama's chipped rice is my property. And similarly, Sudama also didn't ask anything to Krishna, and he received everything from Krishna without even asking. So the highest level of experiences of love is receiving something without asking. And that's how spiritual life is not about making, pure devotee is not about, becoming a rickshawala. Right? It's not that, if you become a rickshawala and you don't have anything, you'll become easily pure devotee. And a person who is a rich person, he will not become a pure devotee, or he has lesser chance. Everyone has a chance to become a pure devotee, because a pure devotee is one, he also receives from Krishna. He receives without asking, and Krishna also receives from a pure devotee without asking anything, right? So in this way, we should understand that the love begins by receiving, excels by giving, but then becomes supremely intensified and thickened when we receive without even asking, right? When the lover understands the heart of a person and tries to fulfill the desires of the other person, right? So spiritual life, that is why there is nothing wrong in asking to Krishna, but we should not stay on that level. Rather, we should, why we are asking from Krishna for fulfillment of our material desires? To be happy. Yes? So we should tell the new people or any people that why you are asking Krishna to fulfill your material desires? To be happy. Don't you want to be experiencing higher level of happiness? Now yes. So then give. Now after giving, don't you want to be more happy? Oh yes, I want to be more happy. Then receive without even asking. Just go around and you'll see how Krishna will reciprocate without even asking. Just go around giving to others, and Krishna will, you will experience the happiness of receiving without asking. What Sudama experienced, right? Neither Sudama nor Krishna experienced the happiness of giving service. Krishna didn't experience the happiness of giving service to Sudama. Neither Sudama experienced happiness of giving service to Krishna. Both of them experienced the happiness of receiving without asking. Okay, Hare Krishna. So this is how in 15 minutes I completed the topic. Okay, so we will take one topic, and we will also take question answers. And in this way, this is a sample topic for those who have next month class. We should try to see that, take a concept, give some examples, give some experiences, right, and write, use the friends. Okay, and don't try to explain too many concepts. Explain one concept. So like here I focused on love, right? Love begins by receiving, love excels by giving, love epitomizes and reaches its zenith by receiving without asking. Simple, right? So this is one concept. I elaborated and made examples and gave one example only of Sudama in the end. Okay, so in this way you take one concept and elaborate it. Okay, similarly there can be another way to explain the same topic, like material desires burn like fire, so that also can be explained, right? But generally if you are given a time which is very less, 15 minutes, always try to focus on positive thing. If you are given a time, so this is also I'll mention. So if your time is 15 minutes or less, so focus on the positive aspect always. And only when you have lot of time, maybe 1 hour, then you can focus on some negative aspect, then taking them to positive. Like material desires burn like fire. This is a negative aspect. And if we touch this topic for 15 minutes is going to be not enough, because ultimately the class has to end in a positive note. So it is a very important thing for all teachers to understand that if we are touching a negative or a sensitive thing, then we should first see how much time I have. If I have been allocated less time, just focus on the positive aspect of that topic, elaborate it and end in a positive note. And only when, if we have lot of time, we focus on the negative aspect, or you take one negative aspect only and divide the time, let's say 7.5 negative aspect, 7.5 explaining about the positive thing, because the class has to end in a positive carry home message for the person to improve, right? Like this is simple. Okay, now I'll receive, but I will also give. That is higher level of love. Oh, the highest level is to receive actually without even asking to Krishna. Okay, simple, right? Did you understand? Okay, yes, anyone has any question?
Krishna Prabhu
okay, Krishna Prabhu, what he asked? Yes, oh, why? What is the problem with Aditi praying? There is no problem. Actually, we need to understand. Aditis, they are demigods. Demigods means they are diabetes patient who want the medicine and the sweets together. Right? So, but we don't want to remain the demigod. Demigod is not the highest level of practice of spirituality. We want to go ahead, right? Demigods are happy, but the demigods are thinking, sitting on the demigod loka, the demigods are thinking, na yatra vaikuntha katha sudha paga. So, na yatra vaikuntha katha sudha paga. अरे हमारा सत्संग क्लास तो इधर नहीं होता है 6:30 बजे का. So they want to join the satsang class, and many demigods are taking birth to join the satsang class of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. And we see so many children nowadays who are born, they are singing so nicely Hare Krishna, they are putting tilak, and so these are all demigods coming and taking birth in Lord Chaitanya's mission, and in order to experience the next stage, that is giving to God with love. So there is nothing wrong in Aditi praying. You can also pray provided you want to remain in the level of demigod, right? Okay. And demigod is a great position. We are previously demons, so now we are planning to become demigods. But if we don't have a plan from demigod, from a receiver of love to a giver of love, then that is a problem. So we should also make plans for our spiritual life. Oh, I was receiving. Bhagwan se mere ko itna mila. I was to go and pray to Krishna. Krishna give me this. Now I should give to Krishna. And I should make a list. Everyone should make a list. क्या क्या मेरे पास है जो मैं भगवान को दे सकता हूँ. And little bit it should pinch. Oh, and we should increase. Oh, this year I gave this much as donation. Next year I will give more. So that should be. And if you want to give more, without asking, Krishna will give you more also. You will see. Right? This, and then you will experience, अरे मैं बस desire किया देने के लिए, मैं बस 15,000 देता था. Now just desire किया, मैं 50,000 दूंगा, and मेरा बोनस मिल गया 1 लाख का. अरे, and you will feel so happy. Arey, Krishna is giving me more empowers. The same rickshaw wala example. Now, rickshaw wala, when he is, why is suffering? Because he is suffering because of his karma. But he starts turning towards Krishna by taking some prasadam and all those things. Then you will see, Krishna will tell to the material energy, Arey, usko हटाओ, अभी मेरा भक्त बन गया. Right? उसको रिक्शा नहीं चलाना है, उसको अभी कार देना है. Now he will get a car and he will put a driver for the car. And the driver will drive the car and he will sit down and chant Hare Krishna. Previously what he was doing, he was putting rickshaw and then getting some money, and half of the money he will drink and half of the money he will gamble and go and beat his wife and all. So that was his profession. And now what he did, he started chanting Hare Krishna. Then Krishna thinks, Hare, now why he has to pull rickshaw. Then Krishna arranges something and some situation, then he gets a car, and in the car he puts a driver, and throughout the day he is simply chanting Hare Krishna. Right? How I am getting maintained? Tell me. How I am getting maintained? And I am getting maintained so nicely. Sometimes I am shocked. So how I am getting maintained? So sometimes we are too worried about our maintenance, but we need to understand that Krishna is more worried for our maintenance than we are worried for our maintenance. But provided we do not want to exploit anyone, we want to remain a good son of Krishna. So father is important, but we should also understand that we should become good son of Krishna, good son of God, right? There is nothing wrong in making God as your father, but you also need to understand how to become a good son. So a good son receives from God, a good son gives back to God, and later on when the love develops, a good son receives without even asking. Okay? Hare Krishna. So this is how we thought that we will explain. And anyone has any question? I think no one has any question. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpataru vaishya kripa sindhu vyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare